Hi, my name is Celia and I welcome you to module number 2.6, Building a Team Part 1. It might sound simple, but building an effective team is no easy task. It requires lots of skills and can be very challenging. You need to define, coordinate and align different, sometimes even competing strategies of your team members. The team members might as well have different competencies, values and experiences that you need to bring together to reach a common goal. Are you already part of a team at work? This is great because in this case you can already draw on your experience from working with others. If you still have not worked as part of a team in a professional setting, you might be able to draw on your experience from working as part of a group at university, a sports team or any other working group you can think of. This presentation will help you understand some of the key characteristics for building a team, as well as the different development phases teams tend to go through. Before we dive into the details of team building, I would like you to take a couple of minutes to answer the following questions. First, what is a team according to your own understanding? And second, make a list of all the teams you have been part of throughout your life, and out of this list, which teams had the best dynamic and were the most efficient, and why? Write down your answers and don't forget to pause this video until you're ready to continue. And remember, at this stage, there is no right or wrong. Did you take your time to go over the exercise properly? Great! Then let's dive right in. So, what really is a team? Here we have a widely accepted definition. A team is an interdependent group of people with complementary skills and abilities who are committed to reaching their common goal for which they hold each other accountable. Let's look at some of these keywords together. By interdependent, we mean that the team members depend on each other's efforts to achieve a common goal. And by common goal, we refer to the overarching objective that all team members want to reach ultimately. Note that the way a team is built varies depending on its ultimate team goals, as well as the working environments in which a team operates. So there's different internal but also external factors that can change the way we build a team. For example, the COVID-19 pandemic has changed the way we work and build our teams dramatically. Remote or virtual teams are becoming increasingly more popular, and although teams become more flexible, it is at the same time also more challenging to build and maintain a group identity without physical interaction. Yet one thing remains consistent despite these changes. Teams need dedicated people, experts who are motivated and engaged and can get the work done. So what are the success factors for effective teams? Cultural and psychological factors are of primary importance, as is strategic vision. So just to give you one example, Google studied almost 200 of its teams and came up with the following 5 key dynamics. The first is psychological safety. Do your team members have the freedom to take risks without fear? Second is dependability. Do they trust their colleagues to complete tasks to a higher standard? Structure and clarity. Does everybody know precisely what is expected of them and what they need to accomplish? And then we have meaning of work. Do people care about what they are doing on a daily basis? And last but not least, the impact of work. So now you know how to define what a team is. At the same time, we all know that teams are never static. And it is important to be aware of these dynamics to ensure continuous engagement and commitment of your team members. People change and team members come and go, whether by design or unexpectedly. Also, the focus and purpose of a team can change, particularly when working on projects, as they move through phases from design to implementation to analysis and so on. Additionally, teams will go through different stages of development or a life cycle. Perhaps the most popular of team models is Tuckman's forming, storming, norming and performing model that I will introduce on the next slide. Bruce Tuchman has studied team growth and has developed the following stages of group development. It starts with the forming stage, which is the initial stage beginning with the first meeting of the team. This is followed by the so-called storming stage, which is considered the early test of the team and its ability to perform the identified tasks even in times of conflict. In the norming stage, the team takes responsibility and commits to common goals and processes. In this stage, the team builds a sense of cohesion and unity after they made it through the storming stage. However, we all know that disagreements can always re-emerge, so it's always possible to go back to the storming stage. In the performing stage, work gets done efficiently and effectively based on shared responsibilities between the team members. And recently, also a fifth stage has been added, which is the adjourning stage, when the team completes its tasks and the project. And as I said before, we know that teams are never static, so they can always move forth and back between these various stages. For example, if a member of a performing team is replaced, the remaining members will find themselves back at the forming stage as they get to know their new team member, and the new team member gets to know them. If you're curious to learn more, don't forget to check out our fact sheet with more detailed information and learn more about the characteristics of Tuchman's 5 stages for team development using both the perspective of the team member as well as the perspective of the team leader, and learn how to navigate through the life cycle of your team with our tailored checklists. Now we have learned some basic definitions around team development. Let's transform this knowledge into practice and learn how to start building a team